Have you ever had one of those mornings where you wake up and think, is this really my life? You go through the same motions: alarm clock, breakfast, commute, fake smile, alarm clock, breakfast, commute, fake smile, on and on. And deep down, you know something's off. You tell yourself, I'm gonna fix it someday. But here's the truth: someday ain't never coming. There's a day when you stop just thinking about changing your life and you finally decide. That's what we're talking about today. The day you decide to escape. Because freedom doesn't start when you quit your job, sell everything, or move abroad. It starts the moment you decide no more. Because the truth is that one decision can change the entire direction of your life. Hey y'all, if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I'm Linnell. I sold everything and now I live on cruise ships full time. If this video is a blessing to you, I want to encourage you to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and then turn on notifications. Hit the bell for all notifications so that you never ever miss another video. And follow me on my journey from poverty to paradise. For most people, the day they decide to escape isn't dramatic, it's quiet. Remember back when everyone was quiet quitting? Yeah, it's something like that. It's that moment when you're sitting in traffic, staring at the brake lights, thinking, there's gotta be more than this. All of a sudden, tears start running down your eyes, part sadness, part relief. Or when you're walking through your house and you realize that everything around you belongs to a version of yourself that doesn't exist anymore. It was all great in the past and it served for who you were back then. But sometimes you wise up and your purpose in life begins to tug on you. For me, it was realizing that if nothing changed, 5 years would pass and I'd still be living the same day on repeat, just older and more angry and exhausted. That's when I said enough. When you finally decide to escape, you don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to make 3 mental shifts, and once you do, your life starts moving really fast. For me, it was October 2023. I knew my life had to change and I booked a solo 8-day cruise to Bermuda. Most people don't change because they're scared of the unknown. I was less afraid of the unknown and more in search of, how can my life be so perfect and yet I'm still so miserable inside? It wasn't a discontent for the life that I had. It was a knowing that I had a much bigger purpose and more things to accomplish. When you start asking what if instead of asking what if things go wrong, the world opens up to you. Ask yourself this: what would my life look like if I stopped letting fear drive every decision? What if I stopped running from complacency and ran towards my purpose? We say things like, I can't because of my job, my family, my age, my debt. We said all the things, right? I said all those things, but here's the truth. That's not your identity, it's just your situation. And situations can change when you take ownership. You can't rewrite your past, of course, but you can absolutely rewrite your story from here, from this point, this moment in time, right now. That is what I decided to do. And in this video, I want to help you do the same thing. So many people wait for the right time, the right paycheck, the right partner, the right plan, the right anything. But the right time never shows up. When I was in my 3rd year of getting my accounting degree, everyone was encouraged to do internships. So when it was time for you to graduate, you would be able to secure a job. Long story short, everyone was interviewing with the same Big 4 accounting firms and a few local firms that were in Orlando. Looking back now, there was probably about 50 internships available and probably about 500 students all trying to get the same internships. A friend of mine had told me that the year before, she had went to Atlanta for an internship conference that had way more employers from all over the world, not all over the world, all over the country. And there were much more opportunities there, and that's what she did last year, and that's what she was gonna do this year. The problem was, both of those conferences were on the same day. What would you have done? Mind you, I lived in Orlando for over 40 years. Everybody I knew was there. My mom, my siblings, I had a husband, 3 kids, a dog, a cat, a mortgage, all the things. You guessed it, I went to Atlanta and I ended up getting 3 offers for internship, and I took two of them. One of them I did during the summer, and then the other one I took a semester off during the winter, and I did the other internship. When it was time for me to graduate, I had multiple job offers, including offers from both of the companies that I had did internships with. That was over 12 years ago. I'm still connected with some of my school friends on Facebook and LinkedIn, and some of those accounting students who refused to go to Atlanta, they still, to this day, have not worked in the field of accounting. My point is, if you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. Last year, when I decided to leave my old life behind, I had to tell myself that there is something else out there, but I didn't know the right direction to go. And this is what hit me. You don't need a roadmap right now. Right now, you just need a starting line. And that starting line is one small decision. Once I stopped wishing and started acting, that's when things changed for me. That's when the roadmap started coming into view and the different options for my life started to show themselves. Because clarity doesn't come before you move, it comes while you're moving. I educated myself, I watched videos, I listened to podcasts, and I lived in Audible every second that I could find. On my way to and from work, while I was cooking, when I was in the bathroom, everywhere. I listened to audiobooks about finances, I watched YouTube channels about alternative lifestyles, I ordered workbooks on changing my mindset. Since you're still watching this video, I'm guessing you are ready to stop wishing and thinking and actually start. If you've been waiting for permission, here it is. Not that you need it from me, but if you needed somebody to say it out loud, you have permission. Here are 4 things you can do today to start your escape, no matter where you're starting from. Step 1, name what's keeping you stuck. Write it down. The word says write the vision and make it plain. Don't say my life or don't say everything. Be specific. Is it your job? Is it your relationship? Do you have a fear of losing income? You can't escape what you refuse to name. Step 2, decide what you're no longer going to tolerate. Draw a line in the sand. If it drains your energy, steals your peace, or keeps you playing small, it does not belong in your next chapter. My first husband used to listen to rap music, used to listen to 80s rap music all the time, and his favorite artist was Run DMC. He used to, outside of music, he used to use the acronym DMC, not for the rap group, but as his way of saying, don't damage my calm. Sometimes you have to declare Run DMC. Tell the things that damage your calm to leave. So what's damaging your calm today? What's draining your energy, stealing your peace, or blocking your joy? During the worst times of my toxic relationship and job, I put on headphones and I played gospel music, and all of the stress just melted away. That was, for me, how I got my peace and my joy back. That let me know that the things I was trying to escape from were damaging my calm, and I needed to make a permanent run from them. Step 3, take the first step. You may be a little different from me, but I'm the type of person who rips the Band-Aid off. And if that's what you want to do, then you probably don't need my help at all. But if you walk with more caution than that, take the first step in your escape. In the previous video, we talked about being one brave decision away. Now it's time to act on that decision. It doesn't have to be big. You can just cancel a subscription that you don't use. You can pack one box. You can start an online savings account and call it My Freedom Fund. You can delete an old contact that no longer serves you. Whatever comes to mind that you need to do to make that step. Every small action trains your brain to believe that change is possible. Step 4, commit out loud. I'm not really a fan of discussing your plans with other people most of the time because, listen, they most of the time just don't understand, and 9 times out of 10, they're gonna try and talk you out, and you're gonna be right back to where, talk you out of it, and you're gonna be right back to where you started. If you have someone that you can trust, then by all means, tell them I'm making a change. If you don't have someone in your life that you can trust, write it in the comments below. Nobody here knows you. When you put it out into the world, it becomes real, and that's where momentum begins. I am a spreadsheet girl. I started writing down the amount of money that I needed to have in order for retirement. I started doing all kinds of calculations. Then I wrote down the places that I can actually live on that amount. There were several places I could live, and I listed them all down on that spreadsheet. I wrote down all my preferences, things that brought joy to my life. So beaches, mountains, warm climates, theme parks, football games, places of worship, English speaking, traditional family values, all the things. And then I wrote down all the things that I don't want in my new home, in my new future. I don't want a small town. I like bigger cities, but I want to avoid crime-ridden and racially charged communities. When you finally decide to escape, something shifts inside you. You stop running from and you start running to. You stop chasing permission and you start chasing peace. You start chasing what brings you joy, not what other people expect from you. The people around you probably are not going to understand, most likely will not understand. They're going to say things like, "You changed." And they're right, because you finally stop pretending you're okay living small. When people tell me I've changed, I ask them, why haven't you? The day you decide to escape isn't about quitting everything overnight. It's about reclaiming your power one choice at a time. Maybe that choice is saying no to a toxic boss. Maybe it's setting boundaries in your relationship. Or maybe it's simply saying, I'm done living on autopilot. Every decision you make from that point forward becomes a brick in your escape path. When I came off of that 8-day cruise, I gave my ex an ultimatum of his behavior and told him he could accept my conditions or we could go our separate ways. I'd already made up my mind that I had given my workplace several chances to improve, and it was just not happening. So for them, I had committed to, once I got off the ship, I committed to leaving them in 6 months, which for me was April 1st, 2024. It wasn't easy, but it was probably one of the most freeing decisions I've ever made in my life. Once I committed to my decisions, I wrote them down and I started taking action. The momentum was going and there was no turning back for me. I'm gonna leave you with this. Your freedom won't come from waiting for the perfect plan. It comes from the decision to start walking in faith. Don't let fear of what you might lose keep you from what you were meant to gain. Today could be your day. Not just because something magical is going to happen, but because you decide that it will. Write it down, say it out loud, claim it. Today is the day I start my escape. Because once you decide, you'll be amazed at how quickly life starts opening up. Because freedom isn't found, it's built, one brave decision at a time. And one day you're going to look back and realize that was the moment that changed everything for me. Thanks for watching. Let's go create a life of freedom, peace, and purpose. I'll see you in the comments.